Hello and welcome to Tuesday's edition of Cracking the Cryptic, where I'm in a good mood this morning. Spotify recommended me an album from my youth, The Extremist by Joe Satriani. What an album that is. Anyway, I mentioned this at the start of the video just to explain why there's a smile on my face, but there is another extremely good reason why I've got a smile on my face, which is Jay Dyer has released a new puzzle. Jay hasn't been setting so much recently. I think life has been getting in the way of her ability to share these absolutely incredible puzzles with us. But we have something or other to have a go at today. And apparently this is magnificent. It's only been out for a couple of days, and you'll know if you've ever watched me solve one of Jay's puzzles before. I hold them in the highest regard. So this is some sort of yin-yang hybrid with a little bit of arithmetic based on a quick read of the instructions. But the praise already for this one over on Logic Masters Germany, unsurprisingly, is eulogistic. So I will read you the rules in a moment or two's time. I've got a few things I need to mention first. Let me start by saying I should have mentioned this yesterday and then failed, which is appalling. We are streaming tonight in just an hour and a half's time. In fact, if you watch this video on normal speed, it's quite possible that the stream could overlap with your viewing of this video, because 10 p.m. UK time tonight, the video should go out at 8:30. We're going to be having a go. Oh goodness, that's not too bad actually. We're going to be continuing to have a go at the Caterdokupillar. This is Memeristor's incredible creation. It might not look like it because the resolution might not be high enough, but there are in fact an absolute multitude of 6x6 Sudokus in that picture, and we've got about this far. So we're going to be continuing our journey. We'd love to have your company, so I'll try and remember to put a link on the screen. Now, what else? I've got a few birthdays to do. Our new Fog of War app is out. So if you enjoy Fog of War Sudokus, do check that out. It's apparently our most popular app ever, with good reason. The constructors that we've got who contributed to that, absolutely extraordinary stuff. So do have a look. Let's do the birthdays. I think I was something else I was meant to mention, but I can't remember what it was. So I'm going to start by saying a very happy birthday to Tobias. Tobias has turned 25 today, and I know this because your partner Kiara wrote to us, Tobias, and said that you might appreciate a shout out. I think you've just moved from the south of Germany, 900 kilometres north, and well, I hope the move's gone well. And clearly from Kiara's email, she thinks the world of you, Tobias. And I gather you're having an official celebration at the weekend with your best friend and your brother. And chocolate cake, I am assured. So I hope you have a great day today, a great weekend with your friends and family. Many happy returns. Next, Arda. Arda, your father, Cavill, wrote to us. I hope I'm saying that correctly, to say that you're turning 15 today. I do really like it when we hear about our younger viewers, and that a new generation, I suppose, is getting a lot of joy and pleasure out of these wonderful puzzles. Apparently, you both watch a video together once a week. And Arda, I think you also watch daily, so thank you for doing that. I hope you have an absolutely brilliant birthday today. I hope there's chocolate cake. I haven't been told whether there will be or not, but I hope there is, and I hope it's very heavily iced. And then finally, Linnea. Linnea, you've turned, I think, 32 today. I know this because your mother, Lena, wrote to us, and I remembered your name. You're the lead singer from the band Thunder... Oh, it's not Thunderstruck. That's making me think of AC/DC. Thunder something. Thunder. You opened for the Scorpions. I do remember that. Oh, no, I'm not going to remember. That's awful. That is absolutely awful. Well, anyway, I'm so sorry, Linnea. If I can remember it, it's not Thundercats are a different thing, aren't they? No, it's Thunder Mother. It's Thunder Mother, that's what it is. So your mother wrote to us about... How did I not put that together? I think it is Thunder Mother. If there is a band called Thunder Mother, then I'm pretty certain Linnea is the lead singer, and they're very good. And anyway, I hope you have a very good birthday today. I'm sorry I couldn't remember your band or the name of your band for a while, but I think that's right. No, Thunder Mother. I'm more and more confident as it sort of trips off the tongue. I hope there's chocolate cake for you today, and thank you for continuing to watch the channel. And that's all. That's all the birthdays. So let's have a look at Something or Other. Some is spelled S-U-M, by Jay Dyer. These are the rules of the puzzle. We have got normal Sudoku rules apply. So unlike yesterday, we have to put the digits 1 to 9 once each in every row, every column, and every 3x3 box. Then we have to shade the entire grid using 2 colours, so that each colour forms a single orthogonally connected area, and no 2x2 area is entirely one colour. So I will use my patented example of yin-yang. This is a possible yin-yang shading. Sort of interlocking combs, and the reason this is correct is you can see that you can move throughout the purple area to all the rest of the purple cells by crossing cells that share an edge, crossing purple cells that share an edge. So if we were to introduce this square into purple, that wouldn't be correct, because this purple square does not share an edge with the other purple cells, only meets them at a point, and that's not good enough for an orthogonal connection. So all the purples meet up, all the greens meet up in the same way, and I don't think you'll find a 2x2 area in the grid which is entirely one colour. So this is a possible shading of the puzzle, and it's often called yin-yang. Oh, there's only one more bit of rules. An arrow in a cell, okay, let's look at that cell, indicates that the digit in that cell equals the sum of all cells of the opposite colour in the direction of the arrow. If a cell contains multiple arrows, each arrow is summed separately. So let's just see if we can understand that to start off with. So if that was green, we would look along the diagonal. And it's the cells of the opposite colour. So say those two are purple and that was green. It's not the count of the cells, or is it the sum of their contents? Let me just find the rule again. So the sum of this. Yeah, it's not actually 100% sure, but I think I read that as the sum of the contents of the cells. No, because otherwise it would just say the number of cells. It's saying the sum. Yeah, so what we have to do is look at the contents of these two cells, add them up, and write it in that square. That's a really strange rule. That is a really strange rule. Not, though, as strange as the rules from yesterday, where that was an absolutely Super Michael's This One Goes to 11, it was called, in which you couldn't do Sudoku to solve the Sudoku puzzle because you didn't know what digits to put in any row, column or box, or at least you certainly didn't at the beginning. That was crazy. This one is slightly more usual, but it's still not a rule set I've ever seen before. Do have a go. I think it's got 4 stars out of 5 for difficulty. The way to play, as always, is to click the link under the video as usual. But now, I get to play. Let's get cracking. Now, the normal strategy with arrow puzzles like this is to find arrows close to the border, like that one. So, whatever this square is in terms of its colour, there's at least one cell of the opposite colour in these two squares. And if it was 2 squares, it would be the sum of those 2 squares that would equal this. If it was only 1, we would have a repeated digit. That would be the same as whichever one of these was the opposite colour to that. That's quite difficult, actually, isn't it? That one is better, though. That one is better. Because, yeah, this is a different colour to both of those. Let me try and show you why I can see that. If this was green, and let's say this was green, and then we made that purple, then this digit should be the same as this digit, because we're summing all of the cells that are not green in the direction of the arrow. So these two would be the same and Sudoku would break. So I think what we can say immediately is that these are different. My phone is buzzing again. Now, I suppose actually one thing I ought to do at the start of this puzzle is to talk a bit about, there are secrets of yin-yang that will almost certainly be in point here. The most important secret about a yin-yang shading puzzle is that you can't have a checkerboard. Because if you have this pattern, remember that the requirement is that we have to join up the purples orthogonally, and we have to join up the greens orthogonally. Now, to achieve an orthogonal connection, it doesn't matter how circuitous the route is that we take to achieve that. Hopefully you can see that you've now puddled this one. This one is in a puddle of purple, and it cannot now orthogonally connect to this green. And it wouldn't have mattered if I'd extended this to connect with this the other way. I'd have just had a different puddle. This one would have got puddled. So you can't do this. No checkerboards. And what that means is that in the perimeter, so getting this square is making me think about this. In fact, let me just delete this for a moment. We can't have too many changes of colour in the perimeter. We could indeed have no changes of colour. That would be a completely legitimate way to fill in the perimeter of the puzzle. But let's say that it wasn't entirely one colour and we introduced a stretch of green. Here is the critical question. Having introduced the second colour into the perimeter, could we have any other changes of colour in the whole perimeter? And the answer is no, because let's say I tried to make this square green. Now, you can think of this as an exploded checkerboard. We still have to connect the greens together orthogonally, and however I connect this to this, hopefully you can see, no matter what route I take to do it, this top purple is cut off from the bottom purple. So you can't do it, and if you try and connect the purples to each other, you'll create a wall of purple, and this green couldn't connect to this green. It's the same principle as with the checkerboard. So what we got, I can't remember whether I made that one purple. I think I made that one green before. So what I'm wondering now is, having got a cell on the perimeter, can we get more cells on the perimeter? So let's think about this one. If that one was, well, let's make it a different colour to start with. If that was red, what's it telling us about those three squares? It's saying that there's something that's not red. We'll say it's blue in there. And there isn't just one blue, so it'd be more than one blue. It couldn't be 4 blues, obviously, but you could be 3. I don't think that's telling us that. In fact, that's surprisingly unconstrained. So maybe what we've got to do is that looks an interesting pattern, doesn't it? That and that pointing at each other. That makes my spider sense tingle. What is that doing? If they were yeah, okay. These are not different colours. Yeah, that's really interesting. So I don't quite know how that interacts with that one, but The thing is, I don't know what colour these are actually. Let me just delete that for a moment. No, I'll use different colours. Let's make this orange, and let's make this blue. All these have no relationship to purple and green. I just want to look at this and explain the point I've seen. Right. So remember that this orange is now collecting up all of the blues in the column, and we sum those digits up and we add and we put that result in here. And this blue is adding up all of these oranges in that set of digits, and we put that result here. But look, there's an awful lot of real estate between these two arrows. 6 cells of real estate. Now what's the triangular number for 6? 21. So that's the absolute minimum I could fill these squares, is 21. Now each of these squares has to be either orange or blue. So how could we divide this collection of digits such that both of these had a single digit total? It's clearly impossible. I mean, the minimum, these could be 8 and 9, which is 17, which would imply that these should add to no more than 17, and they can't. So what that is telling us is that this is also orange, but I don't know how this relates here. Right, the other thing it's telling us is that these are not the same number. So, this is interesting. This is blue. Now, that is blue. Because, otherwise, let's imagine this was orange. These arrows are both counting the sum of the cells, the blue cells, in that strip. So they both should contain the same total. So that's wrong. So this is blue. Now, if blue was the same as purple, I'm going to do the same in here, though. This must be where we have to look next, isn't it? This is the same point, except it's a third. Actually, maybe I'll get rid of that. I'm just going to get rid of that for the moment, just so I can stop myself looking at it and wondering what colour it is. So, either this is double orange, and that would be blue. And if it's that, you can see in the perimeter now, I've got sort of a blue patch, I've got an orange patch, and I couldn't have blue in there, because to connect the blues together, I'll isolate oranges. So all of those would be orange. All of these would be blue. Trying to see why that's failing. Not doing a very good job. Or we've got the other possibility, which is that both of these are blue and this is orange. So either way round, we are learning things about the puzzle, aren't we? Because in this instance, I've also got 2 coloured stretches in the perimeter. All of those would have to be blue, and we get a shorter span of orange. No, I'm not sure. I'm not sure which of those is right. Maybe it's, hang on a moment. Whatever that is. I don't think the diagonal arrows are very helpful here. At least not at this stage. I don't see how you really use them. That one. And we know these two are the same. Oh, that's interesting. So if it was this configuration, these would both be blue. That would do loads of things, actually. Because that would be orange, these would be blue. You'd have to avoid a checkerboard. No, well, not a checkerboard, avoid a 2x2. You get a sort of U-pentomino of orange. That might actually be right. Let's have a look at the other way round again. Now, so we were saying that if we instead went orange here, Ah. Yes, okay, I can disprove this one. Right, beautiful, beautiful. This is a very clever idea. Right, so the crucial cell here is this one. This is what is going to break. Because if we are in this world, what we've got to do is recognize the fact that we have our sort of two color stretches in the perimeter. And therefore we can join these up, and we can join these up, but that's not the point. The point is here. And especially for this one. Because I'm going to have to introduce quite a lot of blue along this sequence to stop there being 2x2s of yellow. Or orange, I suppose. So, the way I saw this quickly was that I must have a blue in one of those two squares, otherwise that's a 2x2. I must have a blue in one of those two squares, otherwise that's a 2x2. And I must have a blue in one of those two squares, otherwise that's a 2x2. And that's 3 blues that are absolutely essential. There could be more blues than that, but then there must be 3 blues in that sequence. And that's a 4th blue, and that's impossible. You can't add 4 different numbers and write the resulting number in there, because the triangular number for 4 is 10, and I can't write 10 into that cell. So this is wrong, which means that, what does that mean? It means I'm just going to get rid of everything round there, and so these are blue and this is orange. And now look, we have to join these blues together, because if we didn't, if we introduce an orange there, when I connect that orange to there, for example, how are we going to connect that blue to there? You can't do it. So all of this becomes blue. These become orange. Now, the thing that's going to be interesting here, I think, is this cell. Because we worked out right at the start that those two cells were the same. So that's going to give us more shading over here. These two have to be orange to avoid 2x2s. And now look, checkerboard. Checkerboard. We've got to avoid checkerboard. So those have got to be orange. Now, what does that mean? I don't know. Now we're stuck again. We can't have an absolute plethora of blue in that column or orange in that column for exactly the reason that we've just been looking at. So in this column, for example, we could have 2 blues in that stretch. And because this arrow is going to count those 2 blues, it'll count this blue for 3 blues, and that's as many different digits as we could have being the sum to this number. Okay, let's do the... Okay, that's got to be orange to avoid a 2x2 in the corner. Actually, that's quite handy. That's now got to be blue to avoid a 2x2. So a 2x2 there. This has now got to be orange to avoid a 2x2 here, and now we can avoid a checkerboard again. Good grief, actually this is going somewhere now. Now this is blue to avoid a 2x2 there. This digit, whatever that digit is, it's the same as that digit, because there is only one blue on that diagonal, so those 2 digits are the same. I'm going to notate that. Ah, no, right, beautiful. Look at this row. This little digit here is counting all the oranges in its row. I've got 3 oranges. I can't have any more oranges, or this would be at least a 10. So all of those are blue. Oh, this is beautiful, Jay. Now, avoid a checkerboard. Avoid a 2x2. This is actually surprisingly... well, it's just gorgeous, isn't it? Now, this little thing has been corralled, look. It's in a... It has to connect to all its orange friends, so it's got to... Oh, not with purple. It's got to go through there. Right, and it can't stop there, because if this is the last orange in this box, that will be a 2x2 of blue. So orange has to go there. Oh, no, this is easier. Look, I've got another blue on the perimeter. So that blue has to connect round the corner. Otherwise, the orange on the perimeter here will never connect to that orthogonally. So I've done all the shading in the bottom 3 rows. And right, that digit is the same as that digit. Yeah, and I was about to say, but could it be A? But it can't be A, because A's already appeared in box 8. So this, I think it's sufficient to label B. That it is definitely not A, and it definitely is the same as this digit. So B is in one of those. Actually, I will label that. A is in one of these. By Sudoku. This digit is at least a 6, because the minimum I could put into those squares would be 1, 2, and 3. 1, 2, and 3 sum to 6. Now, I see. Oh, that's gorgeous. Right, look at this square. Didn't we look at this square earlier? Right, this is counting the blue cells in this string. Now, it's not, there can't only be one blue cell there, because if there was one blue cell, whatever was in that blue cell would then be in that cell as well. And we'd have a problem with Sudoku. So there are at least 2 blue cells in there. But we mustn't create 2 by 2s. So the only way you could do that is if those are the blue cells, that's the orange cell. To stop there being a 2 by 2, I've now isolated, I've sort of corralled 2 oranges into a pen there, so they've got to get out. Yeah, this is lovely, this puzzle. It really is beautiful. Look at this square now. That is counting 3 different blues. There cannot be any more blues in this column, otherwise it's too bluified, and that digit will be a double-digit number. So all of this has to be orange. Those have to be blues. I've made a thingy of a corral of orange now, so that blue has to get out. This blue has to attach to its friend, so it has to get down the perimeter. And now I avoided 2 by 2 here. Oh no, I was about to say something that's nonsense. I was about to say this orange had to get out through there, but it doesn't necessarily, does it? It depends if if any of those can be orange. Oh, that digit, that diagonal there is looking at that square, so these are the same digits. But that could be A. It can't be B, because B is there, so this is not B, but it could be A, perhaps. I'll label that C, but we're going to have to remember that this could be A. C could be A. No. So this digit is summing 3 blue digits, so that is at least a 6. And this digit is summing 2 digits. I'm not prepared to put 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 and 9 into that square. Others might be prepared to do that. I cast no aspersions, but I am not doing it. That's at least a 3. Oh dear, now I'm stuck, aren't I? Botheration. What do we do next? Is it that one? That one is counting oranges, and it sees 2, so there can't be more than... There's only 1 orange maximum in those squares. Oh, that must be relevant. So we cannot have... Yes, okay, so what I can do, I'm going to look at that square. What is that square? If that square was blue, I think we have a problem. Because if that square's blue, I have to make those blue to connect the perimeter up. And now there's going to be an orange here, and there's going to be an orange in that domino, at least 1 orange, and that's 2 more oranges to add to those 2 oranges. That's 4 oranges, and I can't keep this down to being a single-digit number. So that square is definitely orange. That connects to its friends. That square becomes blue. That, okay, so now these two digits are the same. Now that's quite interesting as well, because D cannot be C or B, but maybe it can be A as well. A is really thrown a spanner in the works, actually. I can't really make that work quite. Anyway, I want to carry on thinking about this. Right, this blue. No, it's counting one orange. Can all of those be blue? If all of these are blue, the orange can still connect. Even sorry, I was looking at this. I'm wondering whether that's a possible arrangement. That would be orange. This would be orange. So orange would come a bit further along the top row to stop there being 2 by 2s in the corner. I don't think I can rule that out. That one, I wouldn't know. I don't think I know the colour of that one. Golly gosh. I'm sorry, I haven't got a clue what to do. I have not got a clue. This one? That's counting oranges on this diagonal. I don't think we I mean, the thing about diagonals as well is that unlike this square, for example, so the reason both of these had to be blue was to avoid a repeated digit, but with the diagonal you can just have this, one cell, so you can repeat a digit. All the pressure sort of is relieved. Not sure where to look, if I'm honest. Bobbins, bobbins, bobbins. Where do we think we look now? That one sees. Okay. I have thought of a reason that can't all be blue. But it's not to do with the yin yang, it's to do with the number I would put in that square. Right. It's the same principle as this, I just didn't apply it. Right, okay. Imagine all of those were blue. This digit is then counting all of the oranges in its row, which is that cell. So these would be the same number. That's wrong. So that means that there is, well, this is great, because that means there is at least one orange in here. And if there is at least one orange in here, there are no more oranges than that. Because if there was 2 oranges, this would break. So this combination of digits is 1 orange and 3 blues so that digit is at least a 6 now, because it's adding the orange in there to those 2 digits. And I think we're going to be able to do something with the geometry here. I just have to think about this for a moment. Or not. No, I'm not sure actually. In my mind, what I'm trying to do is imagine this collection of digits with one orange cell in various positions. I'm trying to see what the problem is with that, and I'm not seeing anything. That's the same as that. So D is up there. Might as well record it in case Sudoku is going to be friendly. It so rarely is. This one. Until I know what colour this is, how are we going to get the colour of this one? the way we're going to get the colour of this one is via... Is that on? No, that one. This one doesn't see that one. I don't know. I'm not sure. This is at least 6. If it's 6, this is 1, 2, 3. But in theory, this could be 9, and then these would be... These could have as much as a 6 in them, because 6, 1, 2 would add up to 9. This diagonal sees a lot of... Ah! Oh! Ah, beautiful. Right. Okay. Yeah, this one. Right. Look at this. This one looks along all of those squares. But it's orange, so it's counting blues. 1, 2, 3 blues, but that blue's massive. That blue's at least 6. So yeah, this is it. This is it. This is 6 actually. Everything sort of links together. It's really clever. Right. So I don't quite know. Well, let's start here. The minimum value of this is 6. So the minimum value of this, which is also adding those 2 digits to whatever this was, so we're saying that's 6. The minimum value of this is 8. But if this is 8, we're saying those 2 digits add up to 8. But that one is adding that digit as well. So this is completely forced. We have to do that, otherwise this will be too big. So this has to be 6. This has to be 8. These both have to be 1. That has to be 9. This has to be 1. These 2 squares add up to 8 and don't use 1. So they're either 2, 6 or 3, 5. 1 is now over there. 1 is up here. But also, perhaps even more importantly, this orange can't see any more blues on this diagonal, so all of those become orange, and this is what's going to tell us what this one was, which is something I was interested in before. So this now is blue to avoid a 2 by 2, avoid a checkerboard, make this orange, avoid a 2 by 2, make that blue. Okay. Right, let's take another stare. Ah, haha, those 3 digits add up to something without using a 1. They add up to this digit. This must be 2, 3, 4. One of those is A actually, so this must be 9. There's no other candidates for this. If we introduced any other digit, it would break the bank. 2, 3, and 4 do add up to 9. Given we can't use a 1, anything higher obviously would break this cell. So this is 2, 3, or 4. Oh, no. I just want to put 2, 3, or 4 into that square. These are the same. So A is now in one of those. This digit is not 2 or 3, so that digit is 2 or 3. Where's 8 in row 7? It's not there, so 8's got to go there. These squares are 5, 6, and 7 by our old friend Sudoku. That is on an arrow counting orange squares along this diagonal. Ah, that's interesting. It's not only counting this one, because if this one and this one were the same, then C bounces back over there, and those 2 would be the same in column 8. So that's wrong. So there's got to be at least 1 more orange on this diagonal. And we know this. We know this is exactly 1 orange and 3 blues. It's really weird, actually. I can't see that that matters. Oh, here's a point. This is 6, because it couldn't be any bigger, because it would have broken this one. So it is seeing a 1, 2, 3 triple in this row in orange. So this is 1, 2, 3. This is 1, 2, 3. That is not 1. So the orange in these cells is 1, 2, or 3. It's probably... And what's that one then? So that's adding 2 of the digits from 1, 2, and 3. So this digit is 4 or 5. Because it's adding 2 of the digits from 1, 2, and 3, which exist here, where we don't know where the orange is. So this is not a 3. Because if that's a 3, this one is adding a 1, 2 pair in the row. And it would equal 3 itself as well. So that's not 3. Bobbins, I'm not sure that does... Oh, I've got a 2, 3 pair there. 5, so 4, 5, 6, 7 into these squares. I am actually going to pencil mark that, because one of those squares is D. So that's 4, 5, 6, or 7. So maybe it's something to do with where 8 goes in row 2, which is now in one of those 3 squares. And we know it's in a blue square as well, because it can't be in an orange square, or this one would blow up. That's not a 6 by Sudoku, so that's not a 6 by Sudoku. Okay. And now we might be about to get stuck again. This cell is adding those 2, which now don't include a 1. Actually, that's at least a 6 now, because this can't be a 2, 3 pair without breaking that square. So that's at least 6. That is the world's worst deduction. That's absolutely hopeless. Sorry. This one is counting oranges in its column. There's already 2, so those can't both be orange, or this would be a 10. Actually, that is interesting. These can't both be blue either, because if both of those are blue, what would this square have to be to avoid a 2 by 2? It would have to be orange, and that orange is very lonely. It really cannot connect to any friends. So these 2 digits are one of each colour. Right, so this digit... Oh, this is very interesting. Wow. Okay, this is huge. Because now, this digit... Because these can't both be one colour, one of these is orange. So this digit, which is counting oranges in its column, is counting 1, 2, third digit. So this is at least 6 now. But this one is counting that one plus that square. So this is massive, and this can't be that massive. The minimum value of this is 2. So this can't be 8, because then this would be 10. So this is 6 or 7. This is 2 or 3. It can't be 4, because again, 4 plus 6 is too big. And this square is at least 8. And now this is not a 1, and this is not a 2, because 6 and 7, if we think about 3 different numbers in this column that have to add up to 6 or 7, we're either looking at a 1, 2, 3 triple to add up to 6, or a 1, 2, 4 triple to add up to 7. And 1 and 2 are always in that sort of congregation of digits. So this can't be 2, that can't be 1. And there's a floating 1, 2, 3, 4. I mean, actually, probably what I ought to do is this. One of these digits, the other orange digit, is a 1, 2, 3, or a 4. So if you look at this column, these squares contain 1, 2, 3, and 4. So all the other digits... Oh, where's 9 in the column? Oh... If that's 9... Oh, I'm confusing myself now. If that's 9, it definitely can't be orange. So it would be blue. That's okay, isn't it? I'm not sure. Unless that's being... Is that seen on a diagonal somehow? It's definitely seen by that. No, that's it. Whoa, this is beautiful. Good grief. Right. So, I love that. Right. The question now is, where is 9 in this column? It is hard to see, but it sort of leads you to it, because you get this floating quadruple on 1, 2, 3, 4. So all the other digits have to be really high digits, 5, 6, 7s, 8s and 9s. You can see that one. And you've got a 9 here, which is ruling 9 out of these squares. So my first question was, where does 9 go in this column? Now, 9 could go here, or it goes there. So it's got two possible cells. Let's just highlight those for a moment in a nice colour, purple. Now, if this is 9, it clearly cannot be orange, because then this should count it. So it has to be blue. But look at this diagonal. That digit, oh no, could that just be a 9 then? Oh, I didn't think of that. No, it can't, because of that. Oh, okay, I didn't think of that, but I have now seen something that stops that from being the case. If this was a blue 9, this digit is counting it on this diagonal. Now, I'd overlook the possibility that maybe this could just be a 9 itself, but actually it can't be, because if it's a 9 itself, this digit would have to be a 0, because that's actually also contributing to the count of this square. So this cannot be 9. It cannot be blue 9, it cannot be orange 9. So what that means is, we know where 9 goes. It goes there. So now that's actually having an effect on that one. So that's 8 now. So this is 6. This is 2, because that's the only way that can work. So 4 is coming out of these squares. And up here we've got a 1, 2 or a 3. I feel like that must be here for this, because we need a 1, 2 or a 3 for this 6 row, but I'm not sure. Anyway, the floating 1, 2, 3 makes this a 4, which means this is a 2, 3 pair. That is therefore a 2 or a 3 as well. There's a 2, 3 pair that's emerged in box 8. Oh, this is just gorgeous. This is a 2, so that's a 3. That's part of the 8, so that's a 5. Okay, so all of these lose 5-age. These lose 5-age. This is a 6 or a 7 on this diagonal, which is a complicated creature. We're definitely counting that square towards it. And that's the digit C, which is that square. Oh, I'm not sure if I can do something with that. That digit's the same as that digit. So actually, probably I do want to pencil mark this row, do I? 4, 5, 7, 9? Is that a waste of time? It might be, actually. I mean, this... yeah, I didn't actually learn anything new from that. I know those two digits are the same, but... I know that's 4, 5, 7 or 9. And that's counting this, but I still don't know, do I? I don't know what this digit is. I mean, I don't know the colour even of this digit, I don't think. That's not 2 by Sudoku. Up in one of these squares, I've got an orange 1, 2 or a 3. I don't know. I don't think I know which one. I might do, for reasons that are opaque to me at this juncture. It's quite... see, if that was orange, that would be blue. If that's orange... That's blue. This would be orange, because these oranges would have to connect in the perimeter. I don't know. Not sure. Oh, come on, Simon. What do we do next? We could do something with the digit. I just don't know where to look. I feel, okay, let's try and do it like that. Where do we think? 9 is in one of those two squares, actually. Maybe that's going to have an impact, because if ever you can get an arrow looking, counting a 9, for example, that's going to be incredibly constraining. Can I do that one? There has to be some blue here, because this is orange, so it's going to count at least one blue in those two squares. But we do know we've got 3 blues to find in that string of digits. If that's blue, 2, 3, 4, this is counting. And that's at least a 5. Counting for this one is what I was thinking. 5. And that's at least a 2, so this would be at least a 7. I can't see why that's a problem, but it might be. Oh, I've got something there. Look, that's a 2 by Sudoku. That's a 1. Okay, that's a 5, therefore, isn't it? Because this blue is summing the oranges in this row, which we know are a 1, 2, 3 triple. So that's a 5. Which means this is not a 5. And there's a 3 somewhere along here now. I wish I knew where. I don't seem to know anything about 3s in these positions. Oh, that's interesting. Oh, I've seen a problem here. Ah, okay, so hang on, right, I think I've got something. This digit has got an arrow pointing that way. So this can't be 4 or 5, actually, because that would have had to have been a 2 or a 1. In fact, what can this be? Doesn't this have to be 7? I think this has to be 7, purely from the row. Nothing to do with this diagonal. This just has to be 7, because we need that to be a valid digit that can create a sum with a 3 to equal this. So that's 7. So this is 4. So this is 9. The whole thing gets filled in. Good grief. I'm sorry, that was very straightforward. I just didn't notice it. So this is 5, because these two are the same. So B is the digit that we're looking for. So 5 is in these two squares. But I think this has a profound effect on this as well, because that's what got me thinking about this square. But let's just pause and see if we can see anything else. Yeah, 4. That's a 4 now. So that's a 4. This is 6, 7. 4 is the D digit, which is now either there, it could be in the corner, preventing us from singing. Some of you breathe a huge sigh of relief. Yes, so this is what I want to look at now, is this row. Now, if this is blue, what digit is it? And it can't be blue now. That's beautiful. Jay's so clever. I mean, yeah, if this was blue, let me show you. If it's blue, we know that there is an orange 3 to come in this row to contribute to the 6. So this is now not 3. And you can see it's not 1, 2, 4, 5 or 6. So it is 7 at the very least. But it can't be 7 because we've got to add this digit to it to get to that digit. So this diagonal doesn't work. So in fact that is therefore orange, and therefore we know it is 3. And therefore that's 1, that's 2. There's a 1 here by Sudoku. Oh, can we do more 1 Sudokuing? No, maybe not. No, maybe not. Okay, but Maverick's just about to fly over. That's now blue, isn't it? Because we couldn't have double orange here, or this square would have broken. You have to keep track of quite a lot of things. That's blue on the perimeter, so that becomes blue. This is blue to avoid a 2 by 2. That's blue to avoid a checkerboard. So we've done the perimeter all of a sudden. This looks wrong. It looks to me like something, I don't know whether it's going to be double orange there or blue coming through there. I don't like the way that's just ended. Okay, but we know these are both blue, don't we? Because otherwise this would be counting these, whichever one of these was orange, and it can't. So these are blue. We've got the T-pentomino of whiteliness living in the grid. Which makes me think about countdown. 5, 7, 8. 6 is in one of these squares by Sudoku. I'm going to pencil mark 5, 7 and 8 into this column in the hope it does something for me. This one, we don't know. I don't know whether this is blue or not, this square here. Do we know what this one is counting then? So it's counting 2. It's very hard for it to count that one as well. Yeah, the minimum value of these would be 2 and 3, I suppose. No, that doesn't work, does it? 7 here. If this was blue, oh, that could be 1. Oh no, sorry, I thought that couldn't be 1. I was getting quite excited about being able to make this orange. No, okay. Right, I don't know what to do again now. It's probably going to be one of these long arrows that I've not even really focused on. Like this one counts this one, but one of these must be orange as well. They can't both be orange. So this is one of each. In order for this, because this can't be just counting this digit, because again that gets transplanted there and the world would break. So this is lower than 6 or 7. I mean, I might as well pencil mark it. So 2, 3 or 6 are the options. Don't know. Okay, so it might not be that one. 9 lives near the corner down here. I still don't know what A is. Okay, so which arrow have I not used? I have no idea. I've used that one. I've used that one and I've used that one. This one I haven't really used, but I don't really know how to, do I? I suppose maybe I've got to pencil mark it. It's got to be 3, 4, 5 or 7. Now, see, this is really interesting. If this was orange, then because these two digits would be the same, these would both be 7. Oh, where's 8 in row 2? I've only got one place for it to go. So this is an 8 in box 5. Jay's making me do Sudoku with a smile on her face, I've no doubt. Okay, what are those digits? 2, 5, 8. That's not resolved. I don't think it's resolved. Okay, so that's not 5, and that's not 8. Oh, bother. Okay. This is 2, 3, or 6. And oh, okay, that's quite good. Because that is the same as that digit. There is no denying that. And now it can't be 2. So this is 3 or 6. Which is presumably doing something for us. Oh. That's quite interesting as well. If this is blue, no, that can't work. This is going to get too big. This becoming 7 or 9 is crucial for this diagonal. Because if this is blue now, this will be 7. Whatever this is, this will be not capable of being large enough. So that's orange. That blue has to get out, so that's blue. We've very nearly done the shading. These are both 7s now, because they must have the same value. So they are 7s. That's 9. This is 7. This is 6. Oh, that's making me think that this needs to be 6. Is that wrong? No, it's not. Yeah, that's got nothing to do with this one. This is not 9 anymore. And okay, in this box, look, 3, 4, and 5 are the only unplaced digits. That's really strange. That doesn't seem to be resolved at all, does it? 7s, 5s. Oh no, okay. And this diagonal is counting. We always knew it was going to be counting 2 squares, but now we know which 2 squares it is. So, how does that work then? I don't know, actually. So if this is 6, that's 3, that's 3. So that would be 3. So you get double 3 on the diagonal if this is 6. And you would get a 3 in the corner. That's quite interesting. Yeah, you could place, I think, most of the 3s in the grid. Yeah, really most of them. So that's if that was 6. If this is 7, then how does it work? This square is 4, or it couldn't be 4. So this would be 1. Oh, hang on. Oh, I see. No, it doesn't work. These are in this. Oh, Jay, you got me. Okay, that's very clever. This is not 6. It can't be. Oh, it's beautiful. Right, I have to show you this because I was a bit slow to this. Right, if that was 6, we know this is 3 now because we're adding 2 digits. So we can't make this 6 because this can't be 0. So we have to put 3 there. But that transplants by this arrow to that being a 3. And then to make the 6, we have to make that a 3. And we get 2 3s in row 3. Isn't that pretty? It's very pretty. So that means this is 7. This is 6. Okay, but I think this now has to be a 6 and a 1 because 3 goes with 4. And that 4 will break that. So that's 6. That's 1. Now we've got a 1, 4 pair in the top row. So these squares must be... Oh, this is good. This is a naked single 5. Then it can't be 7 or 8. So we've got a 7, 8 pair in here. A 1, 4 pair. 7, 6. This is a 6 by dint of siegeness. So double click the 6s and hope they do something. There's a 6 over there. No, okay, what about this column then? 2, 2, 3, 9. So this is a 2 or a 3. That is a 3 or a 9. Oh no, oh that's good. No, there's a 2, 3 pair here. So that's 9, that's 3, that's 2. Okay, I thought that would do more, I have to say. 3, 7, 8 into these squares. 3, 7, 8. That's not 3. Oh, so where's 9 in this row is a very sensible question. So that's 9. That's 5. That's 6. So now 6 seems to have to be here in box 8. And these seem to have to be 4 and 7. Which might not be resolved, but it still feels like it's progress. These are 2, 3 and 9. And actually, if we look at that, that's a 2, 3 pair now. So I should have focused on 9s, it seems. These are 2, 3 and whoopsie. Wow, these are 2, 3 and 4 is what I want to put into there. I still haven't done the yin-yang either, which is remiss of me, I'm sure. Now, let's just think about this. Okay. Let's just think about this for a second. Do we know what they are? Do we know? I don't know what I'm meant to be looking at. What we need down here? We need 2, 3, 4. I'll put 4 in. 4's in one of those squares. 2, 3, 4 and 9. And I know those 2 digits get transplanted here. So one of these is 2 or 3. Oh, I don't know. It's going to be some arrow I've not looked at. That arrow is correct. That arrow, that arrow, that arrow, this arrow. Oh, I haven't done this arrow. 4, 3 looks quite profitable, doesn't it? Yeah, we might be able to rule this out. Oh no, it could be 1, 2, 4. Oh, okay, sorry, I'm not sure. By Sudoku, this digit is A, because that digit is in that triple. So this is A, this is A, this is A. It's so nearly useful. One of those is A. So one of these is A. Got to be a bit careful here. I'm not sure. That doesn't actually seem to be resolving itself in favour of the goodies. Okay, so we have to do something different. What is it going to be? I haven't got a clue. It's got to... Right, let's keep going through the arrows and checking we've used them all. Have we used this arrow? Yeah, that was the 6 and the 1. That we have used that. We used that very close to the beginning. Oh, so I do think I'm running out of arrows to use. So can I do something with the yin-yang that I've not noticed? I don't know. 5 I can do in this column, I've just noticed. So that becomes... that's a 7 now. So Sudoku, of course, is always Sudoku. Okay, I got a 3, 7 pair here. I get 8 in this box. I've got a 2, 5 pair. I definitely didn't have that before. 7. No 3 in the corner for us today, I'm afraid. 7 and 3. Oh. or I do get a 3 in the corner. I think that's a 3, 9 pair at the bottom of this column. And there's a 9 there, so I think that's a 9. And that's 3 in the corner, that's 3 in the spotlight losing its religion. So that's 2, that's 3, that's 2, A's are all 2s using that sort of congregation of digits we were working with A. So that's 2, that's 5. Oh, I hope that's not going to be a deadly pattern. That looks... No, it's not. That's fine. It's fine. This is the place 5 goes. And... okay, and what do we need in this column then? 2 and 4, which we can put in. So that's 4, that's 7. I can do that one now, which is not what I thought was going to happen with it. But we might be able to do... I might be able to do more Sudoku. I know it's against my nature to do that, but this is a 6 now. And that's an 8. Yeah, okay, so I think it probably is this. Because, look at this diagonal. We're counting... At the moment, we're only counting 2 blue squares, and I can't get them to equal 7, even if I make that a 4 in the corner. So this is blue. Oh, it's gorgeous. Now look at... Now if I double-click the grid, the oranges are not connected up. So we have to connect the oranges through that little passageway there. That is the yin-yang finished, and these 2 digits have to add up to 5. Well, that can't be a 4 in the corner then, because this can't be a 1. So that's got to be a 1 in the corner. That's a 4, that's a 3, that's a 4, that's a 3, that's a 4, that's a 3, and that's a 1. And that is absolutely brilliant. Very, very good puzzle. 60 people have solved it in just over 2 days. That is of no surprise to me, because when you see a Jay Dyer puzzle, you are basically guaranteed... Well, at this time of year, it's almost a Christmas present to yourself. You just know you're going to spend, in this case, 72 minutes of extreme puzzling pleasure in Jay's company. That was absolutely brilliant. Loved it. Loved it. So many clevernesses. So many clevernesses. I mean, I don't really know. The start was very clever. I really liked the idea that you could... you know, make those 2 squares the same colour. I mean, it seems quite simple when you think about it, but initially I was focusing on arrows close to the edge, and I don't think I could do very much with those. I did something little with that one, but that didn't come into play till much later. Yeah, it's beautiful. It's a beautiful Sudoku puzzle. Let me know in the comments how you got on with it. I enjoy the comments, especially when they're kind, and hopefully we'll see some of you any moment now for our streaming. Bye for now.